will confuse them to come to the market.
Congratulations to the media. You have done incredible work.
In NLC, it will show you what it does.
The Senate observes that PPP has consistently engaged in underhanding.
When your brother is producing something and you patronizing your brother.
Listen to Planet's 101.1 FM news at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. with our news in special English at 2:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Planet Radio 101.1 FM, evolving around you.
It's the news at noon. In the news, the federal government to spend 315 billion naira as Labour suspends strike for 30 days. NCDC records 1,968 Lassa fever cases with 181 deaths. WAEC to decide on withheld results today. On the foreign scene, Egypt President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi confirms third-term bid, and in sports, Saudi side Al-Ittihad refuses to play in Iran because of statue. Details of this and many more coming up shortly. Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. I am Mary Joseph. First in the news this afternoon, the federal government may incur additional 315 billion naira in wage bill in the next 6 months for the newly introduced allowance for federal workers. This came as organized labor agreed to suspend its proposed nationwide strike for 30 days following the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the federal government after a marathon meeting. The resolution followed over 5 hours of deliberations between the federal government and Labour at the Chief of Staff conference room of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Announcing the outcome of the meeting, two State House correspondents, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simeon Lalong, said the NLC and TUC accept to suspend for 30 days the planned indefinite nationwide strike scheduled to begin today. Lalong said the memorandum shall be filed with the relevant courts of competent jurisdiction within 1 week as consent judgment by the federal government. However, NLC President Joan Jairo said the union would revisit the agreement if the federal government failed to fulfill their demands. According to the agreement, the federal government grants a wage award of 35,000 naira only to all federal government workers beginning from the month of September, pending when a new national minimum wage is expected to have been signed into law. Meanwhile, the federal government had on Sunday said that the provisional wage increase announced by President Tinubu for all low-income workers for 6 months would cut across all treasury-paid workers. In the meantime, the federal government has said that there is high hope that Nigeria will get the World Health Organization (WHO) newly recommended R21 Matrix M vaccine for the prevention of malaria in children by mid-2024. The executive director and chief executive officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shaib, disclosed this in an interview with newsmen. Recall that the World Health Organization recommended the R21 malaria vaccine following advice from the World Health Organization Strategic Advisory Groups of Experts on Immunization and the Malaria Policy Advisory Group. The NPHCDA boss said there was hope that Nigeria would get the R21 malaria vaccine by mid-2024. Meanwhile, the federal government has said that it hopes to create about 50,000 jobs through artificial intelligence (AI) by 2030. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, made this known when he released the ministry's blueprint for the next 4 years. He said as an emergency economy, it is imperative that Nigeria formulates a far-reaching national strategy to harness the potential of AI in an inclusive and responsible manner. Consequently, Tijani said the most populous black nation is taking a unique approach to provide the requisite expertise and perspectives to craft a way forward strategy. He stated that the implementation of the strategy, among other things, is expected to elevate Nigeria as a top 10 location for AI model training and talent globally, adding that the country will position Nigeria as a global leader in accelerating inclusivity in AI database. To health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has registered 1,068 Lassa fever infections across 112 local government areas in 28 states of the Federation. The NCDC said this via its official website today in its Lassa fever situation report for week 37. The center indicated that 75% of the cases were detected in Ondo, Edo, and Bauchi states. According to the NCDC, there are currently 7,352 individuals with suspected cases, and the infection has resulted in the unfortunate loss of at least 181 lives in the country. The center said that the case fatality ratio of the infection stood at 16.9%. Cumulatively, from week 1 to week 37, 2023, the report stated that 181 deaths have been reported with a case fatality ratio of 16.9%, which is lower than the CFR for the same period in 2022, which is 19.1%, adding that in total for 2023, 28 states have recorded at least one confirmed case across 112 local government areas. We head straight to education, where the West African Examination Council, WAEC, has initiated the 76th meeting of the Nigerian Examinations Committee to deliberate on cases of malpractice and irregularities arising from the 2023 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates. The body disclosed this via its official X handle. Recall that in August, the examination body initially released the 2023 WAEC results, but the outcomes of 262,803 candidates were put on hold due to instances of examination malpractice. However, the body has assured candidates that information about their results will be communicated after the NEC meeting concludes its deliberations. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umoino has inaugurated the newly appointed 368 personal assistants drawn from each political wards across the 31 local government areas of the state. Speaking during the event held at the State Banquet Hall, Government House, Uyo, the governor noted that their appointment was the first in the series of his determined effort, at reinsuring an all-embracing government and in fulfillment of his campaign promise of taking the government to the grassroots to ensure that the rural people also benefit maximally from his administration, which is focused on rural development, while charging the newly inaugurated PAs to see their appointment as a call to service and ensure that they foster peace and unity in their various domains. Governor Eno stressed that they are his representatives in their various wards and communities, and as such must lead by example.
You must understand the role that God has given you and graciously go and reconcile with people. Don't use this position to create disunity. Your work is to go and bring people together. So don't go back and become lost. If you are going to be my student, follow my footsteps of respect to everyone and try to unite the people in your world. Don't be in our party and we find you disloyal to this party. It will not work, but there are structures that we're going to put in place that will help galvanize everyone together.
The governor, who noted that about 4,000 jobs will also be created this month through the appointment across all units for the Neighborhood City Watch program, as well as the 40 appointment from the Shungai Model Farm program, again assured that he will create more opportunities to engage more people in his government. According to him, his investments will spread across different sectors, including agriculture, entrepreneurship, amongst others, in a bid to engage the people and ensure that the dividends of democracy are delivered to them.
Everybody cannot be in politics, but let all of us don't sit down and make politics as a career. So that that's why we are raising up entrepreneurs. 400 of them will be trained. We'll give them seed money. We are building hubs to get our people to work. So we are creating opportunities. We are sending about 40 persons to Songhai Farm in Port Novo. Later this month, we are starting our first Ibom Songhai model farm.
He, however, urged those who did not make the list of the one per ward personal assistant appointment to remain calm and committed to the party, assuring that more opportunities are available for deserving members to contribute their quota towards the realization of the Arise Agenda blueprint and overall success of the administration. Speaking on behalf of the appointees, Aniefio Udo James of the Sidobium local government area had appreciated the governor for finding them worthy to serve, stressing that their appointment was the first ever in the history of the state. Government House correspondent Jane Uwa reports that Aniefio pledged their unloyal support to the government and their determination to contribute their quota to the success of the administration.
This is a brainchild for you to create a situation where all the local people that are in the villages doing election to come up before the state. I thank you, sir. May God bless you abundantly. May this administration succeed, because we are going to work assiduously in our own different way, making that we return you round.
In the meantime, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moina has appointed the immediate past chairman of the Akwa Ibom State Road and Other Infrastructural Maintenance Agency, AKRIMA, Akparawa Godwin Ntugode, as his political advisor. The governor, who announced the appointment during the inauguration of the 368 PAs, also announced the appointment of Sir Udo Kerian as the honorary Special Advisor Political for Ikodekwane Senatorial District, Archbishop Samuel Akpan for Eket Senatorial District, and Dr. Henry Achibong for Uyo Senatorial District. Government House correspondent Jane Uwa reports that Governor Moina therefore charged the political advisors and the honorary advisors to interface with the 368 newly inaugurated PAs on his behalf. According to him, working in synergy with each other will ensure adequate service delivery.
Just like we have the economic advisor, we believe that we should have the political advisor. That has nothing to do with the special advisor, Bureau of Political and Legislative Matters. You'll be working with 3 honorary special advisors that will head their individual senatorial district. We will give our political stakeholders the rights that is due them.
Of triumph and integrity, humility, beauty, God implanted power and poise. Women always have to be strong, for often our meekness is misconceived as weakness.
This woman's weakness is love.
Every Thursday, 11 to 11:45 a.m. The Woman's Diary on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. Don't miss it.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, on the foreign scene, Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has confirmed he will stand for a third term in elections scheduled for December. The former army chief has been in power since he helped oust Mohamed Morsi, the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, in 2013. Activist says his term in office has been marked by the brutal suppression of all oppositions and the collapse of the Egyptian economy. According to reports, the constitution was changed 4 years ago to prolong his term and time in office. An attempt by opponents to organize a credible bid for the presidency are reported to have been hampered by Egyptian bureaucracy. In sport, Al-Ittihad Asian Champions League match with Iran's Sepahan was called off after the Saudi team refused to leave their dressing room. The Saudi side, managed by former Wolves and Tottenham boss Nuno Espirito Santo and featuring star players like N'Golo Kante and Fabinho, were opposed to a statue of an assassinated Iranian general being placed at the entrance to the pitch. Reports say that about 60,000 fans were in the Nagish-e-Jang Stadium in Isfahan, Iran, at the time awaiting kickoff. Tension between Iran and Saudi Arabia mean that matches between clubs from the two nations have previously been played on neutral territory since 2016 due to security concerns. The Asian Football Confederation (AFC) said the game had been cancelled due to unanticipated and unforeseen circumstances. The AFC reiterates its commitment towards ensuring the safety and security of the players, match officials, spectators, and all stakeholders involved. On our entertainment scene, popular Afrobeat singer Seun Kuti has accused Nigerians of almost destroying his career following his altercation with a police officer. Reports say that Seun was arraigned before the Lagos State Magistrate Court and detained at the State Criminal Investigation Department in Panti, Yaba, for allegedly assaulting a police officer at 3rd Mainland Bridge in May 2023. Discussing the extent of the crisis he faced during this period, Seun Kuti, in an Instagram live video, stated that he came close to losing his entire career as a result of the incident. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo, but before we go, a recap of the major stories. And the news this afternoon brought to reports that the federal government may incur additional 315 billion naira in wage bill in the next 6 months for the newly introduced allowance for the federal workers. We also reported that the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has registered 1,068 Lassa fever infections across 112 local government areas in 28 states of the Federation. In education, we've reported that the West African Examination Council, WAEC, has initiated the 76th meeting of the Nigerian Examination Committee to deliberate on cases of malpractice and irregularities arising from the 2023 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates. On the foreign scene, we told you that Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has confirmed that he will stand for a third term in elections scheduled for December. And in sports, we reported that Al-Ittihad's Asian Champions League match with Iran's Sepahan was called off after the Saudi team refused to leave their dressing room. For comments and coverage of your newsworthy event, call our newsroom on 0812-770-2940. You can visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at planet_101fm. You can also like our Facebook page at Planet101fm Uyo. The news was edited by Azaya Udo and Jane Uwa. As we end the news, please visit the nearest police station with any useful information that will aid the swift freedom of corps members still held in captivity. I am Mary Joseph. Good afternoon.